I'm using the following run out just because there's a lot to learn. I really was going to trash it, but then I thought, you know what, let's just use it to experiment a little bit with this program and the camera. And we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to run it through complete once, and then we're going to go back and analyze it a little bit, and then we'll close it out. Thanks for coming by. Here we go. There's a lot of problems with this rack, and overall I play it pretty sloppy, but it's the end of the day and I'm heading home. So I'm not really caring too much. Plus I got 2 or 3 guys watching, and I'm not real big on blowing my own actions, so it's just, I'm kind of just freewheeling through the first couple balls here. This is an old kicked billiard shot here to make the 6 ball. The problem with it is you often lose control of both the cue ball and, that 1 ball in this case. But trying to make the combination would be pretty much suicide at this point, and you lose further control if you tried that. So basically I wanted to see if I could make this like the old pros used to do it, and I did, but you can see the cue balls on the rail and the 1 balls all the way back down table, and now I'm left in a position where I have to shoot another shot to let the 1 ball out of control, and we're going to go into the 3rd shot in this game while still shooting at the 1 ball. So now that you have a chance to gain control of the table, you should bear down a little bit and do it. The combination here is easy. It's not a hard combination. The problem is getting the cue ball in the right position and not losing control of that one ball. And by the right position, the one ball and the cue ball have to be in the right spot to get on the right side of this two ball, and I'll explain that more in the next graphic. The big danger here is in hitting the two ball with that cue ball. That could wind up being a serious problem that you're not going to be able to get out of unless you play safe. Great, we avoided hitting the two ball, and now we should slow down a little bit and take a look at the lines on the 1, the 2, and the 3 to decide where we want to be on this 2 to get to the 3. And here we see a better illustration. And a lot of potentially good players make the mistake of trying to get on the left side of this 2 ball, and that's doable to go one rail and back behind the 3 ball to this position here. And the reason they're doing that or thinking that is because the closest pocket to that 3 ball is that corner pocket down there, and it's just kind of a natural thought for them to do that because the ball, the pocket that you're shooting at is usually the ball or the pocket closest to the object ball. But you're going to have to get it through your head that it's not always the best way to go. And the right thing to do here is to stay on on the right side of that 2 ball, and then to come back down under that 3 ball and shoot it in this corner down here. This way you're avoiding traffic, and the options you have in the right position give you more options to get on the 4 and therefore the 7 ball. The 5 and the 6 are already toast. They're down. The best thing to happen in this shot is to get straight in on the 3 ball, and we can just nudge up a half inch and be straight in on that side pocket for a shot on the 4, and we can just roll up a little bit on the 3 to get the right angle on the 8. The problem with that is you're asking for a little too much to get straight in on this 3 ball shot, so it's best to shoot for the right side of that 3 ball and have the cushion of that rail just as an added measure of security to get right on the 4, because we can always stun this 3 ball out to get right on the 4 for any number of pockets here. So yeah, I would play this safe and not try to get straight in, because if you go too long trying to get straight in, if you get too far on the left side of this 3 ball, you're going to have some problems getting right on the 4 ball in order to get the right position on the 7 ball. So play it safe and keep your options open, and add a little bit more security there by shooting for the right side of that 3 ball. And if you wind up going a little too long and getting straight in, you'll actually be perfect on this run out. You might have noticed so far that there's been no 4 ball line, and there's a good reason for that, and I want to show you what I was thinking. The intention was to get right where I'm at on the 3 ball, to allow me to draw this back a little bit to get just barely on the right side of that 4 ball line, and then to just pull that cue ball back for shape on the 7 ball. And it looked easy in my head, but I came up a little bit short on the 4 and wound up straight in the corner pocket on the 4 ball. But we don't want to take that shot because it's impossible unless you draw it all the way back to the end rail and then bounce all the way back up. It's impossible to get shape on the 7 ball. Nothing's impossible on pull, but the odds are not good on doing that. Now, I'm deciding right here, as you look on your screen, to shoot the 4-ball in the side. But the problem with that is the cue ball is going to get away from you. So the solution there is to use the 8-ball to stop the cue ball from getting away from me. But where's the 8-ball going? That's the big problem with that. And am I going to be able to get from wherever that 8-ball winds up from the 7-ball? So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things going on here. So as you can ultimately see, I lose control of the game to begin with, and then I work hard to regain control of the game, and now I'm kind of losing control of the game again. But that's okay because the rail birds are watching, and everything's going to work in my favor. This shot coming up on this 7-ball is one of the hardest shots in 9-ball, and it takes the stroke of Mike Massey to execute it correctly. And I give it an honest try, and let me show you what I was trying to do in a graphic here. Yeah, well, you know, I never claimed I was Mike Massey. I gave it a whirl. Came up short, and that second rail coming back at me right there, and wind up bouncing too hard and going into the 9. Now I'm way too high on that 8-ball. This is actually a bank shot, but I'm going to cut it.
Left-handed. Shoot it left-handed.
Either way, I'm going to need some
Make them
help
think
here.
that you think you're great so they can put your ego in check. Just get them. That's not good. Get the bridge. Get the bridge. You suck with the bridge.
I need to practice my bridge. No kidding. Mark Hilliard's always telling me that. Mark's like a doctor, you know. He tells you to take care of yourself, eat healthy, stop smoking, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Show up for the camera.